Peace to the family. I'm just checking something, trying to see how I'm looking. If I'm looking. Trying to see how I'm looking. Here we go. How's everybody doing today? Do me a favor, family. On your way in the door, hit the like button and show your brother some love. Take this video and share it on social media, wherever you can. I'm going to go live just for a few moments. I'm trying to send out some notifications to a few people, and then we're going to get started. Giving all praise, honor, and glory, of course, to the Most High God, Yahweh. And I do so in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Bees Alliance Council, thank you, brothers and sisters, for coming in this afternoon. Just doing a a brief live stream. First thing is first, right? I'm trying out some new software. For those of y'all that saw the video last video I did, I recommended this website that I'm using now called StreamYard, because YouTube did away with Google Hangouts. So I should say Google did away with Google Hangouts. And so this interface that I'm using works almost identical to Hangouts. So it was easy to learn. There was a few people that offered me some tutorials and some other programs that I can use. So I'm definitely going to try and use those. And I noticed that some of my friends in the conscious community, they wasn't using StreamYard before, but they're using it now. But all praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Like I said, on y'all, hit the like, let your brother know that you appreciate the live stream. Also, I'm curious. I'm going to start something new for the brothers and sisters that come in. For those of y'all that are on the live already, if y'all could just drop in y'all chat, where you watching from, like what state, or if you overseas, what country you watching the live stream from. I'm just curious. I want to start doing that at the beginning of the live stream to see where your brothers and sisters at. We definitely have to do more traveling. I did a little bit this year. I did a little bit of traveling this year. I went to Cali, I went to Chicago, and a few other places. Shout out to a few people in the chat. My man Plus Beats from VA, Corey One of a Kind from UK, always showing love. Shout out Sisters of the Maccabees. Shout out Pick a Side or Else. Shalom to the family in here. On the East Coast, it's going on almost 8 o'clock. But I know on the West Coast, it's still a little bit early. So this is just an impromptu live. Really what I'm doing, family, is I'm actually trying out this microphone. I want to make sure that you brothers and sisters could hear me loud and clear. All right, trying out this microphone, making sure it sounds good, so forth and so on. So we're going to talk a little bit today. So this live stream today, all my live going forward for the rest of the year, are being sponsored by Charagma. If you brothers and sisters are not familiar with what Charagma is, then very shortly we're going to discuss what Charagma is, where do we get the name from, what it means, etc., etc. Now, pardon the title. In the title of the video, I put 2018, but it's 2019. That was a typo. I apologize. I'll fix it afterwards. But yeah, this video and all videos that I'm doing live going forward are going to be sponsored by Charagma. We're going to get into what Charagma is shortly. I'm just waiting for a few more brothers and sisters to come up in the building. Once again, once you come up in the building, do your brother a favor, hit the like button, and also tell me where you're from. I see LA up in the building. LA is in the building. My man Leon Royal, shout out to you. While I'm waiting for some more brothers and sisters to come into the room, I'm just going to open up one other tab real quick. So that we can talk about our topic that I want to talk about today. So, brothers and sisters, y'all saw not the last video I did, but the video I did before that. Real quick, hold on a second. That's a typo. 1 second. That's a typo. 1 second. Here we go. So we're going to get into this momentarily. We're going to make sure that we're all on the same page. So we're going to get this correct, right? All right. So here we go. 13 and 16. So we got that. Yeah. So real quick, I'm about to share my screen. I want to show you, brothers and sisters, something. Let's have a little fun, right? So, brothers and sisters, the haters of God are on a rampage. I hope y'all brothers and sisters do realize that, right? The haters of God are on the rampage. They just hating is at an all-time high. You had that damn misfit, that lowlife called Vocab Malone that's been pretty much stalking Israelite camps. He's going from one camp to the next, asking stupid questions. Questions that have been answered 1,000 times, but somehow or another he thinks he's deep, so he's coming with the same questions. You know, now all of a sudden he's asking us about Agrippa and how when Paul stood before Agrippa, who was an Edomite, said that Paul almost persuaded him to become a Christian. And so every little loophole, these devil loophole that they could find to try to fit themselves in to our records, into our book, they're trying to find. But there is no fitting for these other nations. I'm sorry to tell them that. They don't fit. Let me explain something to you. It's very easy how you deal with Vocab Malone or any other Christian for that matter. It's real simple. Don't get deep. Don't allow them to take you in circles. It's really simple. There are two covenants the Most High made with the people in the Bible. Two main covenants. There is the old covenant, and when Christ died, he ushered in the new covenant. Clearly, the old covenant the Most High made with the children of Israel. That's clear. Even the Christians don't dispute that. The old covenant is with Israel. Pursuant to the book of Hebrews, chapter 8, starting from verse 8, in the New Testament, pursuant to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 31 on down in the Old Testament, the new covenant or the renewed covenant is also with Israel. So the Christians don't fit in under the old covenant, and pursuant to they don't fit in. So we don't have to prove nothing to them. If Esau can be saved, if the Arabs can be saved, if the Chinese can be saved, I need to see a scripture that says that they are a part of the new covenant. I don't want no tap dancing. I don't want no pussyfooting around. I don't want no scriptures that allude to. I want scriptures that say, if the other nations are going to share rulership with us in the kingdom under the new covenant, we want to see it. Don't let them ask you anything else, brothers and sisters. Right. Vocab said David wasn't a prophet. When you read in the book of Acts, it says that he was a prophet. What is Psalms 137 if David wasn't a prophet? How stupid can you be? There's so many prophecies in the book of Psalms. Didn't David prophesy in the spirit concerning the crucifixion? Do you not read that in the book, in the Psalms as well? I mean, what are we talking about here, man? Come on. So the enemies and haters of God and the Israelites are mad. Then you have the unconscious community that's mad too. They're mad too, right? My man Sonetta continues to make interrogation rooms and anti-Bible videos, but he ain't answered my question yet. And if he doesn't know what I'm talking about, I'm about to share my screen so I can just give a friendly reminder of what it is I'm talking about. So you can ask a lot of questions, but asking a lot of questions really just masks the fact that you don't want anybody asking you questions. You see what I'm saying? That's all it is. You don't want nobody asking you questions. But we have some questions. We definitely have some questions. Let me share my screen for a second because this was the question that I had. And this is the easiest question of all the ones that I have. Watch this. Let me share my screen just for a second. Yeah. Here's what I'd like to know, right? I'd like to know, what is this? This is what I would like to know. What are we doing with this right here? Brothers and sisters, this is a grown man on the lips and she's sitting on his lap. What we doing with that, Kemet? What we doing with that? And this is in a museum in Egypt. What we doing with that? You want to talk about the Bible? What we going to do about this? What excuse do you have for this? But we'll talk about that another time. It's not time for that right now. That's not what today's show is about. I'm just saying, you can ask 100 questions about the Bible till we start digging in your records, till we start looking in your daggone coffin text and start seeing all types of crazy stuff, which we're going to get to. We're going to get to. Yeah. So these dudes are mad. So what they're doing is they're going on the offensive trying to attack the Bible. I want to share something with you, brothers and sisters, right? You always hear me say this. I'm going to show y'all something, right? Y'all see this book right here? This book right here is older than some of y'all. This book that I have right here is older than some of you brothers and sisters. I'm not saying it to be funny. I'm being real. I brought this book in 1992, before there was an internet. Brothers and sisters, this book was written by a Muslim back in the days that hated the Bible. And what did this Muslim do? I'm going to crack the pages and show you. I'm going to show you. This is why we say that that attack on the Bible these guys are doing is weak and it's fake. We've heard it before. I'm not telling you I heard it before. I'm showing you I heard it before. I got this book in 92. Let me show y'all before the internet. Watch this, right? If you could see the pages, I ain't got to put it up important because all this stuff is on the internet right now. Do you see these pages? This guy put a book together back in the 90s. And what he was doing was he was trying to say that Bible verses contradict each other. And he wrote a book about it back in the 90s. And the Muslims and the Nuwabians and everybody else used to read this stupid book and then come out and ask us questions. So if you don't see me hopping, skipping, and jumping when you guys ask these stupid interrogation questions, it's not because you said something deep. It's because what did that chick say, whatever her name was, heard it all before. This is not new. I've heard it already. So it's weak. But as long as you keep asking questions about the Bible, as long as you keep everybody distracted, you never have to talk about your stuff. Because see, your ancient Egyptians, a lot of them were committing incest and they were pedophiles. They were incestuous. You guys saying about some damn professor somewhere said that wasn't true. Listen, the preponderance of the evidence says that your ancient Egyptians was pedophiles, period. And they were committing incest. You don't have no questions for me about the Bible. Another question. Female mutilation, was that going on in Egypt? Okay. But we're not here to talk about that today, brothers and sisters. We're not. We're here to talk about Charagma, brothers and sisters. We're here to talk about Charagma. Once again, if you're coming in the building, this is an impromptu live stream I'm doing really just to test the equipment, test the microphone, whatever. Y'all say it sounds good, so all praise to the Most High for that. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for all y'all support of Maccabees TV. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all share the video. I'm going to keep my foot on their neck while I'm preaching. While I'm teaching the commandments. I know some of y'all be like, oh, leave it alone. Don't know. I'm going to keep my foot. If they keep their foot on our neck, supposedly, so-called, I'm going to keep my foot on their neck. Period. That's just the way it goes. That's just the way it goes. Sorry. All right. Let's talk about Charagma for a second. So you brothers and sisters are familiar, even if you are just a Torah-based Israelite. Once again, brothers and sisters, make sure you brothers and sisters hit the like I said, on y'all way in, right? Even if you are right and you're in the New Testament, for the most part, most of us have read the New Testament, right? And as much as I go into history, archaeology, anthropology, so forth and so on, as much as we teach the laws, statutes, and commandments, which we are commanded to teach and bring our people to repentance, the Bible tells us that the most and the greatest thing that you can do as an Israelite, the greatest thing you can do is to prophesy. That's the greatest thing that you could do, right? And so we deal with prophecy. And prophecy is something that we have over everybody else. Oh, the Comedics will tell you that they have prophecy in their records, yeah, but tell them to show it. Tell them to show you primary sources with their so-called prophecies, especially end-time prophecies. How the hell the Egyptians know so goddamn much, but there's no end-time prophecies in their records? If there are, where are they? I'd like to see them. Where are the end-time prophecies in the Quran? I'd like to see them. The Bible has end-time prophecies. Cannot tell them because they are banging on the Bible and they don't know nothing about the Bible. And in their records, there are nothing about end-time prophecies. All right. So, right. So, right now, King Yawasab, you said you're correct. That's Akhenaten kissing his daughter. And when you read the history, Akhenaten married his daughters too. Okay. Pedophilia. Incest. But we'll talk about that another time. So the Bible speaks about prophecy. So one of the prophecies is the book of Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, which we're going to share the screen now. We're going to go and we're going to take a look at real quick. Revelations 13, verse 16. Whether you're an Old Testament Israelite, New Testament Israelite, you're familiar with this scripture, right? So Revelation 13, 16 says right here, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. That is future prophecy. So now I have a question before I continue for the ones of you brothers and sisters that's in the house. Let's have a little bit of audience participation. Now, listen, I don't want brothers and sisters to be arguing. No arguing. We're talking. We're having a family discussion. Brothers, 13 and 16, it says that there's going to be a mark. I want brothers and sisters to put in the chat, what do you think that mark is? What's the mark? I want to see it in the chat. And we're not here to argue, but I want you brothers and sisters to tell me, as far as you know, as far as your research goes, what is the mark in Revelation 13 and 16? And I'm looking at the chat. Put it in the chat and let me know what you think the mark is, brothers and sisters. Corey One of a Kind says it's the RFID chip. Judah Israelite says it's the RFID chip. Keith Jackson says the mark is Yahushua. Okay. Plus B says submitting to evil things of the world. Dwayne Yosef says a spiritual system. Libertarian Prince says religion. King Yawasab said that's Catholicism. Okay, so y'all about to go back and forth. I didn't really ask the question for that at the moment. I kind of just wanted to get an idea of what you brothers think that the mark is so I can explain to you exactly what we're talking about today. Ben Dorasal said the commandments, that's the mark. Son of Israel said pagan doctrines and things like that. Hebrew Muscle says chip and the philosophy of man. Okay, very good, very good. Okay, so brothers and sisters, that's the reason why we're gathered here today. We're gathered here today because, as I said and as I mentioned, this show and all future live streams I do is basically sponsored by Charagma. What is Charagma? Charagma is a film that, Lord willing, is going to be, it's a short film, Lord willing, that's going to be released this upcoming November. What is, let's go back to Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, and I'm on the Blue Letter Bible. And when we go down to the word mark in Revelation 13, verse 16, you see right there, the word mark says Charagma. That's the word for mark in the New Testament in Revelation chapter 13, verses 16. That's what it says, which brings me to this. As I just mentioned, this November, Most High will, this upcoming November, there's a short film that's going to be released called Charagma, and it's by Maroon Warrior Films. For those of you brothers and sisters that don't know, Maroon Warrior Films is basically a film company that was started by Elder Zahab Benjamin, that's in the Lions of Israel camp. And he did a movie about a couple of months ago that we released on our channel. And the movie, I reposted it on Maccabees TV. Here it is. It's called Set Apart. I don't know if you brothers and sisters saw it, but it's on this channel. The movie is called Set Apart. It's a short film about keeping the Sabbath. Okay. And so now the second film that the brother is working on is a film called Charagma. All right. And as we just found out, pursuant to the book of Revelation 13, verse 16, in the Greek, the mark is called Charagma in the Greek. Thus the name of the short film, Charagma. Okay. So let's go to the About tab and let's find out a little bit briefly about what this film is going to entail. Okay. So here it is, right? It says, in a time between now and tomorrow, all must receive the mark, which is Charagma. Small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, will be identified. One man is faced with the ultimate choice between life and death. He must make a decision that will either save his own life or betray those that depend on him for survival. The dark days are here. Find out what is the Charagma. So the brother's going to basically do a short film based around Charagma, or the mark of the beast. If you want to find out what Charagma is, or what the mark of the beast is, what the brother's putting together, then you'll find out in this film. Now, let me say this. I'm going to stop sharing my screen just for a second. We're going to come back. I want to say something real quick to the brothers and sisters, right? There's something that the Greeks started, really, and it's been used from the time of the Greeks all the way up till today. It's something that the Bible calls popular persuasion, which you can read about in the right. You can read in the Apocrypha. Okay. And what popular persuasion is that Esau uses mass media or basically today what we call mass media. Back then it wasn't called mass media, to basically get people or to sway people to think a certain way, to play to your emotions through what they call mass media. The Greeks started that thing, popular persuasion, and it's used today. And popular persuasion is used today on our people through media, music, movies, television shows, magazines, ads, movies, short films, social media. It's used basically to sway the people to think a certain way, right? And so we have to get into popular persuasion as well to try to win over the minds of the Most High's elect. We're not going to wake everybody up, but to win the minds of the Most High's elect, we also have to get into popular persuasion. What does that mean? Meaning that for the longest time, me coming up in the truth, I came into Israel in 1992. When I came into Israel in 1992, it wasn't until 1995 that we actually put out the first actual full album in Israel that I remember. 1995, 3 years later. And then from 95 coming up, it was no music. So all you had to listen to was worldly music. You might be in the truth, but all you have to listen to is worldly music. Nowadays, you brothers and sisters are spoiled. If you're on social media, you see that there's all types of music coming out, what we call truth music, Israelites singing, R&B, reggae, slow jams, hip hop, everything. You know what I'm saying? And not only is there a lot of music, the quality of the music better as well. Now a lot of brothers and sisters are putting their music out, and it sounds just as good as the stuff on the radio, if not better. When I say just as good, obviously the message is better, but I'm talking about the quality of the music, the sound, the engineering, the levels, the music, the production. Everything is sounding better, and it's sounding just like the quality on the radio. If you even watch some of the videos that brothers are putting out, you got brothers putting out like teaching lessons and so forth and so on. You see high level production even in the lessons that brothers are doing now. So brothers are moving on a high level. You see what I'm saying? As far as that's concerned, one of the areas that we're trying to conquer next is film. Now but some of our people they might receive it better if it's put in the form of film, right? So you had the brother Ron Dalton, shout out to him, that put out that film Hebrews to Negroes, right? It was a documentary. Remember, Tariq Nasheed, for those of y'all that don't know, he don't like Israelites. Some of y'all may know, some of y'all don't know. He does not like Israelites, and he speaks evil of Israelites, okay? And so, because somebody had asked him why he didn't put Israelites in his, when it's so evident that Israelites were in West Africa. We have a great and rich history, even in this country, going back to the 1800s, all the way up. And people were asking him, well, you got everybody else in these damn films. Hell, you didn't put a damn scammer named Polite in the goddamn film. Okay? So everybody was asking, like, yo, you know, where the Israelites in your films? And he basically dissed the Israelites. That's what he did. Okay? So you have the brother Ron Dalton. He went out and he made that film Hebrews to Negroes, a high quality documentary, and it's been going around the country and renting out theaters. Also, he put out. So that's the next area that brothers have to get into as well, because some of our people, they may receive it better if it's in film form. Instead of us sitting back and complaining that every time you turn on the TV or a movie, they're portraying our forefathers in the Bible, so forth and so on, as being so-called white people. How long are we going to complain about that? Or are we going to put out our own films? How long are we going to complain about them not playing conscious music or righteous music on the radio when we can make our own? We can make our own. Nowadays, the way technology is, you don't need the way YouTube is and all these other platforms out here are, you don't need a big film company behind you. You don't need a big radio station behind you to get out there. Shout out to the brother Asha Sha'ala. Banging on Esau is on its way to 1 million views with no promotion. No promotion at all. Y'all understand? So the next level that brothers is moving, gainsay it and talk against it, then it's not for you. But the Most High gave the brother a gift as far as writing and putting films and scripts together. And so we're going to take that gift and we're going to take advantage of what they call popular persuasion to try to win over the minds of our people who the Most High predestines to wake up to this truth. And we can do it through popular persuasion, through music, through magazines. I see brothers and sisters have been launching Israelite centered magazines. I've seen brothers putting together documentaries, and now we're moving into film. So the brother has a film coming up. Let me start sharing my screen again. Away from myself. He has a film coming called Charagma. And so basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to get this film out to you brothers and sisters in November. Now, to be quite frank and to be quite honest, right? This is a large undertaking, brothers and sisters. Even this film right here that we did, or I should say he did, called Set Apart, that you brothers and sisters, some of y'all watched it on different platforms. A lot went into that. It was only about 20 something minutes, but a lot went into that, and a lot of money went into that out of brothers' pockets, and we gave it to the nation for free. Okay. If you have not checked out the Set Apart film, like I said, it's right here on Maccabees TV. When you have a chance, it's about a half an hour right here on this channel. Come on and check it out, brothers and sisters. All right. So in order for this brother to put out this film, the brother's going to need help. I mean, the film is going to come out regardless, but the brother is going to need help. So what the brother is doing, for those who the Most High might move to want to assist, the brother basically has set up a crowdfunding. He has basically set up a crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo. Now, you brothers and sisters know Tariq Nasheed, again, who hates Israelites, just put out Hidden Colors #5, and he has a known scammer in there named Polite, right? And that film right there was pretty much 100% financed, or I'm going to say 100%, but it was heavily financed by crowdfunding, all right? Heavily financed by that. Y'all know Tommy Sotomayor. He put out his Fatherless America film. Heavily done by crowdfunding. It's just that simple. We as a nation, if we want to see these things manifested and come to light, it's easy to sit on the sideline and for us to say what we think needs to be done. And it's different when the Most High moves somebody to do it, and we just sit back and we wonder, like, when is somebody going to do this? When is somebody going to do that? But sometimes the Most High might give a brother a gift to be a good writer. He might be a good a person that can put together a good screen. Wants to be to make his dream become a reality. And so we believe that one way or another, the Most High is going to allow us to put this film out. This will be the second film that we've put out as Lions of Israel. We believe the Most High is going to allow us to put this film out, but the brother is asking for anybody that may want to assist in the production of this film as far as getting it done financially. The brother does have a campaign here where you can donate to the to his campaign. And as y'all can see right here, the website is thecharagma.com. thecharagma.com. So, you know, if you brothers and sisters, if the Most High moves you, definitely reach out to the brother through this and assist the brother in his endeavors. You know, this stuff is very important. You know, you brothers and sisters don't understand. When we go to camp, right? When we go to camp, I noticed something. This is just something I've noticed, and I've said it to my camp. Maybe some of you brothers and sisters that go to camp, you might notice it too. I noticed that there's sometimes when we do like impromptu camps, we'll go out to camp. It wasn't really planned, and we go out to camp, and sometimes we don't have our signs with us. We don't have our camp signs with us, and we'll go out to camp. And I noticed that we get a different reaction when we go to camp and we don't have the signs on the ground. I've noticed that over the years. And what I've noticed is that when people actually see the black image, for lack of a better word, the dark-skinned image of Yahawashi, Jesus Christ, on the ground, side by side with the white image, especially if they've never heard the breakdown, it automatically makes them stop just by visually seeing. Now their curiosity is piqued. Now they want to know, what's that about? That's popular persuasion. Now you can hold that up and you can show them and go into the scriptures and show them the difference between what's fake, what was created by the so-called white man, and what the Bible says. You see? The same thing goes when we bring the sign out and it has the tribes on it. People stop sometimes because they see the name Puerto Rico there. They stop sometimes because they may see or they may see Jay stop because they want to know, I see where I'm from there. What does this mean? What does it mean? You know, visually they see something. And so it's the same thing when it comes to, they might hear something with music, or it's the same thing when it comes to film. You see, we have to go and we have to put visuals out there for our people to see. That's what we have to do. And some of our people, that may be the spark that wakes them up. I'll tell you, man, some of the best days for me in my early days in the school, back in the days in the early 90s in the school, some of my best days was Friday night class. Why Friday night class? Because the elder on Friday night class would bring in a lot of theology, ancient stuff from all over the world, and show how everywhere that the Israelites went, they left their image behind. They left it behind. And we today, we see those images on the walls and the monument, and they look just like us. That's why we can't fall for that fake DNA hoax that these dudes is pushing. Like, the only way you could be an Israelite is if you take a goddamn DNA test. As though DNA testing that leaves out a lot of other factors that can also prove that you're an Israelite, but they don't care about that. See? So visuals are important. So doing something like this is extremely important, because while we're already awoken, it's going to be different things that's going to wake different people up, brothers and sisters. It's not going to be the same thing. The same thing that woke you up, the same thing that sparked your interest may not spark the next person's interest. It may not. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, we have to be available into every people are at. As long as it's not something wicked, we need to be there. We need to be there. We need to be active. We need to be present. You see? So again, this is a beautiful thing that the brother's doing. So you're going to hear a lot more about this film going forward, and going forward at some point, you brothers and sisters will also see a trailer for this film as well going forward. But we want to let you brothers and sisters know what's going on. When people ask us, well, what are we doing? Like, all you guys do is stand on a corner and yell at white people. Well, that's not true. See, we deal with health. We have a Facebook group that has over 6,000 people that deal with health. Okay. We have midwives. We have doctors in Israel. We have filmmakers. We have musicians. We have lawyers. We have everything. School teachers. We have everything. We need the whole entire body. We need the whole entire body. And we need to support one another. If you went out and saw Hidden Colors 5, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong, I stopped at 2. I stopped at 2 personally. You see what I'm saying? But if you've seen them all and you saw Hidden Colors 5, there ain't nothing wrong with that. But if you saw Hidden Colors 5 and you can't support this film, Israel, something is wrong. Because the world hates us. This is what I have to come right back around circular to how I started this live stream. The enemies of God hate us. The Christian apologists, they hate us. The Kemetic community, they hate us. They have a whole faction amongst themselves called Nubians that deal with pedophilia, okay? They deal with gatekeepers that are homosexuals. They deal with hermaphrodites and all types of other crazy stuff. And we're the Ankh. But nobody questions them because they hate the Bible. They hate the God of the Bible. You see, everybody hates us. So we got to come together and support each other. That's the point. That's the point I'm trying to impart on our people. We got to come together and support each other and allow for our image. And also another thing that's also important, we got to tell our story. What's happening is we're allowing people outside the community to speak for us. This is what all Israelites are. All Israelites are abusive. All Israelites beat their wives. All Israelites hate women. All Israelites are fat and out of shape. All Israelites this. All Israelites that. All Israelites are uneducated. All Israelites don't read books. This is what's being said about us because we're not controlling our narrative. We're not controlling our narrative. That's what this stuff is about. We need to tell the world what we are about and who we are as a people. And there's many avenues and ways of doing that. You have press, you have films, you have blogs, you have music, you have YouTube, you have social media, everything. And we need to be attacking it from all angles and letting the world know who we are. We don't give a damn what you think we are. We don't give a damn who you say we are. We know who we are. So this is a beautiful thing that the brother is doing. I'm hoping and I'm praying that as people watch this video going forward, that brothers and sisters will come together and support this brother's work. He did a great job, man, on the first film. Let's take a moment. Let's take about maybe some of you brothers and sisters just to whet your appetite. Some of you already saw it, but if you didn't see it, let's just take a moment and let's look at maybe the first 2 minutes of his first film. Okay, let's check it out, family. Let's check it out. Let me take the oh, you know what? My computer is acting up. Wow. Give me a second. Let me stop sharing my screen. Let me try something else over here. Once again, if you're in the building, I'm going to keep saying to hit the like button, family, brothers and sisters, because by hitting the like button, what it does is it makes the video more visible to people that are just logging on to YouTube now. It makes the video more visible for them so that they can see that we're live and come over here and share in this conversation that we're having. Bear with me 1 second. Let me see. This is interesting. You know, technology is a beautiful thing, but sometimes technology is a PITA. That's a pain in the butt. You know what I'm saying? I should have said PITB, right? Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's not my day today, brothers and sisters. The for some reason my computer's not playing any videos on YouTube. But anyway, you know, you brothers and sisters, y'all get the idea, man. Let's go ahead and let's support this project and future projects. The brother's writing a bunch of films, you know, so we want to keep the brother going. You want to keep the brother going, and the only way to keep him going is to support him. We want to keep him going. The Most High might, you know what I'm saying, bring him to great levels that we ourselves, we may not even you know, see for the brother at the moment, but the Most High might see it in the spirit. So let's just support our brother, man. Support him, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see who's in the chat. By the way, the brother's in the chat. He in the chat under the name Pick a Side or Else. He's in the chat right now. Okay, so we're talking about a independent film, and brothers want to argue about DNA. It's a damn shame. You brothers, a lot of y'all let the conscious community, I call them the fake woke community, the conscious community. A lot of y'all have allowed them to seduce you. Don't you brothers and sisters, and I'm not, but let me just say this. Brothers and sisters know that don't you brothers and sisters know that DNA is only as good as the samples that have been submitted? How many brothers and sisters know that? So you only have a certain number of people. You only have a certain number of people that have submitted DNA. So when they do DNA tests, they only can compare you based on the people that have actually submitted DNA samples. In other words, if this kingdom was to go on another 50 years, you're going to have millions and millions of more people that's going to submit DNA samples. So you may get a different reading 20 years from now, 30 years from now. It's subjective, you see? So DNA doesn't tell you who you are. It can tell you things like maybe where you last were. In other words, before your ancestors came over here on slave ships, it can give you a location in Africa where there are people who have DNA just like you that match you. That might be the last place you were before you came over here and things like that. But that doesn't tell you who you are because it doesn't take into the migrations. It doesn't take into account a lot of things. You're saying, especially the Israelites of all people who are migrated all the time. They always were migrating. So, it's just one of those things that you can't really get hung up on alone. That's what the so-called conscious community wants you to do. You know what I'm saying? These dudes is running around. So you ask them, who are you? They say, I'm West African, as though West Africa doesn't consist of how many countries are in West Africa? And you just, I'm a West African. You sound stupid. You done paid how much money for a DNA test to only tell me you West African? Duh. I don't want to get man. 1 second. Yeah. I'm about to get out of here, family, but I just wanted to see something real quick. Give me 1 second. One second. Yeah. All right. So once again, brothers and sisters, just make sure that you brothers and sisters hit the like button on the video. I'm about to get out of here. It's getting late, and I've been up since 3:30 this morning. Obadiah Yadida said consumer DNA is going to the dogs. Yeah. And what do they do with your samples afterwards? Now, I bet that's one of the first things I look at. They tell you that they destroy them. I think it's 23andMe says they destroy them. That's if the government doesn't ask for it. If they don't ask for it, but if they ask for it, they're gonna give it. Yeah. Dwayne Yosef, shalom to you, King. It's always a pleasure, of course. It's my brother right there. Trying to give me 1 second. I was trying to do something here before I let y'all go. Once again, the brothers in the chat, brother Zah Benjamin. He's in the chat, and so he's the brother that put together the Set Apart film, and he's the brother that's putting together this film as well. All praise to the Most High. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen real quick, and then we're going to get out of here, right? Here we go. 1 second. So I mentioned that the brother did the film Set Apart, right? So here's the trailer. And by the way, if you're on Facebook, you can see that he has a group on Facebook called Maroon Warrior Publishing. So, and I'll hit the like button on the brother's page and follow it. And you can get updates on this upcoming film that we're working on now. I'm going to go ahead and play the trailer for his first movie. And again, the full video is on Maccabees TV right here on this channel. Y'all can go check it out. But check this out. It's not my day today. Now it doesn't want to play. Interesting. Hide this. Let's see. It won't play. Yeah, my computer is oh, you know what it is? I think I know what it is. What it is that I'm testing this mic out. I'm finding out what's going on because this video really was a test video. What's happening is I'm trying this microphone out, and because I have the microphone in, I got to figure out it's not letting me play videos. That's weird, right? That's because I'm new to a lot of this equipment. I don't be having time to sit down and play with it like that. Anyway, that's gonna be it, brothers and sisters. So once again, last time I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna get out of here, right? Coming this upcoming November, this video is being brought to you Charagma, and coming this November 2019, Maroon Warrior Films, Brother Zahab is going to be putting out, as we showed you, brothers and sisters, the word Charagma comes from Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, where it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And the word for mark there is Charagma. Okay. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Yeah. Give me a second. Let me stop sharing my screen for 1 second, y'all. Let's see. Yes, I got it. Yeah, like I said, it's you know what? I'm gonna bring you on the show. So when you come on the show, then we can play it then. It's this microphone. Like I said, I got it's a new piece of equipment, and I have it plugged into one of my USBs, and it's saying that it's actually using all my memory. So I got to figure out, probably the settings on it are wrong or something. I'm not sure. Just trying it out. So that's why no videos are able to play. It's all good. Message. I didn't get the message, and we'll definitely do another show real soon. All right. Yeah. All right, brothers and sisters. So we're about to get out of here. Like I said, make sure you brothers and sisters hit the like button on the video on your way out. I appreciate everybody coming through and showing support. Subscribe to Maccabees TV. And once again, make sure that you brothers and sisters come here on Facebook. Let me share my screen one more time. Show our brothers some love. Come to Facebook to Maroon Warrior Publishing, and hit the like button, hit the follow button, and let's support our brother as he endeavors to bring us, something that can make us think and can spark a conversation. By doing a film like this, it could spark a conversation with your family, where you're going to be able to sit down with family members and stuff and talk about that. You can talk about scripture and talk about that. It's definitely going to be a conversation piece. Definitely. Somebody even in the world, you can sit down and talk to them about this as well. So it's definitely a great endeavor, man. So let's just said, this is your brother Priest Daniel, Alliance of Israel, Maccabees Alliance Council. I appreciate you all, you brothers and sisters. You brothers and sisters also can go to Instagram as well, to Maroon Warrior Films on Instagram as well. Zahab, put that in the chat before I stop the screen. Put that in the chat so that people can see it. All right. Put that in the chat. Let them know how they can they can reach you. And Sunday, I'm going to continue to play around with this program a little bit more. I want to do a PowerPoint for you brothers and sisters. I want to do a PowerPoint, most high will, this upcoming Sunday. I'll even give you brothers and sisters the name. It's an interesting name. The name of the PowerPoint I want to do for you brothers and sisters is called You Might Be a Jesuit. Yeah, you might be a Jesuit if, that's it, that's the title. You might be a Jesuit if, and we'll talk about it when I give the PowerPoint. Because some of you Negroes are Jesuits. I see you. And some of you Negroes are proxies for the Jesuits in Roman Catholic Church, meaning you're doing their work for them and you ain't getting paid. I see you clear as day, you know. But the Bible says the very gates of hell will not prevail against this truth. And they won't. Those that are not called for the BS that's being spouted by the fake woke unconscious community that loves talking about the Bible when half of your pharaohs were pedophiles and committing incest. So you don't want to talk about that. You don't want to talk about that. So I'll talk about it for you. You heard? Shalom.